evil forces. So that's why I would
which are
consent.
namely other governments, yeah.
Yes.
I would consent.
It's true that that anarchy in that sense is most workable when it's universal. Yes.
Anyway, so-
But I mean, there's much. I mean, those are interesting, complicated questions. I mean, the theory of anarchism is extremely interesting, and it is difficult, and people are thinking about it.
But shouldn't we, like, most people want socialized public education, and most people want socialized public...
I know they want it. The question is, so what?
Well,
People want pie in the sky. They want to go to heaven. Think of all the things that people want.
Why
So
should
what?
we want to deny them that? We should say, go ahead and
Because
have
it's at our expense. That's why.
No,
Look,
because-
you can have all the education you want among yourselves. Go ahead, get together and build
What I'm
schools.
saying is, as long as it's through voluntary consent and we can opt out, then why would you want to use force to deny those people that want this kind of government that has all these social programs?
Because they're using force against us.
No, yeah, but I'm saying
They
if
are.
they don't, if they are right now, but if they allowed us to opt out, why would you still want to deny them?
If they allowed us to opt out, it
That's
wouldn't
what-
be government anymore. Would it?
Well, sure it would be if it's like right now they don't have any legitimacy because
Suppose the
they're not
government
allowing us
said,
to consent.
here, we're going to build public schools, but you don't have to go to them, and you don't have to pay for them.
Well, you might have to have different zones, right?
What's the difference between a school that is, quote, public, unquote, and a government, quote, unquote, school, where you don't have to pay the taxes and you don't have to send your kid to it, and a private school, which, of course, you also don't have to pay taxes for and you don't have to send your kid to? What's the difference?
No, all I'm saying is why the world is a big place. Why do we have to have everything libertarian everywhere? When most people don't want that. As long as we have liberty for
Well,
ourselves, why should we
okay.
care if they want a Cuban-style
All right,
government?
let's raise it in the following form. Look, there are lots and lots of associations that are democratic in the sense that they have presidents and so forth, executives that do various things, and often those are got there by voting within the association. Not all. Many associations are not democratic, but some are, right? And the people in those associations don't mind. That's just fine with them. Now, so let's take some very large area, say the size of roughly Canada or some place like that, and you're suggesting, well, suppose that 100% of the people in this area wanted to do things that way. Then you'd be perfectly right. So suppose it isn't 100%, which of course it never is. Now what? Are you saying, why shouldn't those 97% be able to stomp on the other 3%?
I didn't say that. You're not listening.
Oh, I know you didn't say it.
You're not
But the
listening.
point is, if you didn't say it, then is it a government?
I'm just saying that people under liberty can consent to whatever form of government they want. And you're saying that that's not the case. We can't consent to a government.
Look, who do you mean by we, and who do you mean by they?
Every individual on the planet can consent to a government,
Right.
if they want to.
Logically, that's true. They can. Now then, the next question
But
is,
the point is,
do
we
they?
can't. It's not true consent unless you can opt out. And the problem is, there's no place on earth where you can truly opt out of the government that's imposed on you.
Right.
You can't opt out, and that's what's wrong. That's what we're.
And that's how you've answered your previous question. Answer, you can't do it. It's impossible. In practical terms. Of course, it's perfectly true in principle that it's absolutely 100% of the people on the earth consented.
Yeah,
I mean,
but Walter's
Locke argued that government was established by consent. And Hume came along and said, where the hell have you been all this time? What do you mean consent? Who consents to their government? They're born here and they haven't got any choice in the matter. And to say that they can opt out if they want to is like saying to people out in the middle of the ocean, here, you can get off the boat if you want to, sure. Right? That's the point you're making, and you're perfectly right. But it's a useless point in the sense that, I mean, to say that is to say precisely why government is such a problem. There is no way that it can fulfill the aspirations that it claims, namely that everybody consents to what we do. Well, they don't, sorry. I mean, they do literally take our money without our consent. literally without it.
I know.
John, I think, has been